What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. It's another great episode of Pub Sports Radio, and today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite looks for prize picks this weekend at UFC 275. Massive pay-per-view card. Yuri Prochazka is taking on Glover Teixeira in the main event, and an event I'm extremely excited about. And if you guys want to get involved with the fun, besides just the betting standpoint, we're going to be going live this weekend during the card like we always do, breaking down the action, giving you some live bets. But if you want to get involved on Prize Picks, the simplest game in DFS, then go ahead and use that promo code Pub Sports Radio, Pub Sports. It's right on the side here. And guys, I want you, if you want to get involved, if you want to ride with me, if you want to rock with me. Last week we were so close. This week I'm very hopeful that we're going to get over the hump. I've got two great spots that I'm eyeing up on Prize Picks this week. And without further ado, we can get into it. So guys, first and foremost, right off the top, there is a fight in the women's 115-pound division that has everybody's attention, okay? And it is a rematch of one of the greatest fights we've ever seen inside the octagon. We had Joanna Jędrzejczyk taking on Zhang Weili. And what I'm looking at here is an under, okay? I'm looking at an under on the significant strike total. So you look at Zhang Weili, 81.5 is her current projection for this fight. And she has only eclipsed that number in 2 out of her 7 UFC bouts, okay? So when I look at somebody like a, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who's displaying a 64.2% takedown defense rate, who is only absorbing 3.08 strikes per minute, and I see somebody in a 3-round fight over 15 minutes projected to land 81.5 strikes against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, that is going to be tough for me. That's not something that I'm expecting to be, a likely outcome here. So I think that it's more likely than not Zhang Weili does not clear that significant strike total. Moreover, her game plan here might be to try and mix in some takedowns, mix in some wrestling. We saw that in her last fight with Rose Namajunas. So I think if we see Zhang Weili attempting, wrestling in this fight, it could limit her significant strike count as well. So for me, those are two big reasons to look towards the under here on the significant strike count. And a final big reason here is that Joanna Jędrzejczyk has only conceded this number in 5 out of 14 UFC fights. So she's only allowed people over 81.5 significant strikes in 5 UFC bouts. Each one of those bouts, guys, was a 5-round contest. It was a UFC title fight. So now we're dropping the round count. We're going back to 15 minutes. I think it's very likely that Zhang Weili is going to go under 81.5 strikes in the featured bout on the main card here for UFC 275. So with that being said, we can move along. I got another pick for you here. So that was my most confident pick. If you guys have one that you want to ride with that's going against me, no problem. If you want to ride with a different one in addition to that Zhang Weili pick, go ahead. But what I looked for is Kyung Ho Kang over 1.5 takedowns. And last week we went with Zalgas, and we thought he might get over the takedown total even in a loss. Instead, we push on the takedown total in a split decision loss. So a lot of the points that we thought we were going to see, we saw. We just couldn't quite get over that hump, couldn't quite get enough takedowns, a little bit more cage control time, and a little bit fewer takedowns than I was necessarily expecting. However, we have Kyung Ho Kang in this spot, and he's achieved this 3 takedown mark in several of his recent bouts. The reason, that's the most he's ever gotten in a UFC bout, right? He's averaging about 1.43, but he's attempting 3.41 takedowns per 15 minutes so far in a very long UFC career in terms of sample size. And in his opponent, the Nabat, he once gave up 3 takedowns to Haile Alateng. Now, granted, Haile Alateng has scored several takedowns in multiple UFC fights, but he's not the world's greatest wrestler. He's not a lights out wrestler by any means. He's certainly not a great control style wrestler. Kyung Ho Kang actually has a lot of submission victories in the UFC. He's shown a pretty proficient grappling game all around. So I think even if somebody strong and physical like the Nabat is able to get back to his feet, we could see multiple takedown attempts here from Kyung Ho Kang. Normally in the first 10 minutes of a fight, he has sufficient cardio to attempt a lot of maneuvers, to attempt a lot of takedowns. So I think that even in a losing effort here, we could see Kyung Ho Kang eclipse 1.5 takedowns. And I think it's possible he could be a live dog as well, just because of the style he brings to the fight, the fact that the Nabat is making a very quick turnaround. I was there in person. at UFC Columbus when Chris Gutierrez caught him with that spinning back fist out of nowhere. Had a bet on Danab Bakary that night. Very sad day for me, but I do think he's coming back pretty quickly here. It's very possible that Kyung Ho Kang, who's got a lot of UFC experience under his belt, could make him work here, because Kyung Ho Kang is really not a guy who's been knocked out cleanly in the first round or something like this. It's been a long time since he's been hurt and finished. So I think it's very possible that Danab Bakary gets him early. But if he's able to survive that early storm, if he's able to mix in the wrestling, I could certainly see how Kyung Ho Kang gets over 1.5 takedowns, win, lose, or draw here. So I like two props here. Wei Li Zhang under 81.5 significant strikes. Kyung Ho Kang over 1.5 takedown attempts. And if you throw in that promo code Pub Sports, it's right on the side here. You throw in that promo code, they're going to deposit match you 100% up to $100. If you want to play some of the NBA games, today, personally, I was able to hit on Prize Picks on a couple of NBA props as well. So this is good for multiple sports. It's good for all different angles. So go ahead, get on board with Pub Sports Radio. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Go ahead and drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Drop a comment below. Let me know which Prize Picks angles are you riding with. It doesn't even have to be for UFC. I'll hop on an angle with you if you got something good for the NBA, for the MLB as well. But this week we're looking ahead to UFC 275, and we're super excited about it. Hope you'll join us for the live stream as well. We be pubbing each and every Saturday night, and it's always a great time. I hope you guys will join us there. The chat is always raucous as well. So Pub Sports Radio, F the rest out, we the best out. Appreciate each and every one of you guys for rocking with us. Another Prize Pick shot here. Hope you guys are still riding with me, whether you ride with me or you're fading me this week. I appreciate you just the same. So bless you all. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. And until next time, we be pubbing.